Okay, let's forget the sound. Hi guys, hello, it's MicheleMarieDalene, and today, of course, we're going to talk about a couple different things. And before we get started, I'm just going to see how it's playing here on the phone. I got my iPhone, I got my Android phone with me right now just to see if this is playing okay. To make sure we only, and of course, I forgot to turn the sound on at the video, so when I listen to it now, it's going to turn the sound on. Hi guys, hello, it's MicheleMarieDalene. Okay, please get. That's all I need to know. Alright. So today we're going to be covering a couple things. So let's start by going over to what the main topic is today. People wanted to talk about people of peace, and I said I would talk about it, but we're not going to have any so-called trial because that's ridiculous, okay? However, he has been releasing some videos on his channel that I found very interesting and very enlightening and just kind of fascinating, putting it bluntly. So I thought I would take some time. Let's make sure everything's going here. Yeah, okay, it's still doing pretty good here, data rate. I'm just checking to make sure because, you know, we had problems with this last time, right? Well, we had text edit open this time because you slapped the mouse against the table. Okay, well, as long as it's playing, I don't care. Yeah, it's playing 20 frames per second. Alright, so, anyway, so in short, first thing is, as I said, I'm not going to sit there and have a hearing of this guy. I'm not going to sit there and do judge, jury, and executioner of this guy. He contacted me today. He said to me that he doesn't want to necessarily be on the YouTube channel right now, given what's been going on. So, I thought I would let you know that. Now, the next thing is we were talking about computer upgrade, and a few people here on this channel have mentioned to me, they said, well, you know, gee, why don't you go ahead and, you know, save your money and pay off your bills with it and all that. Well, here's the problem. One of the people would like me to get back on the Google Hangouts on air, which I would like to consider. Unfortunately, Google Hangouts on air has stopped working with the older Chrome as of January 20th, 2018, which left a lot of older Chrome users up in arms. You can look this up yourself on Google. You can look it up on Google Hangouts, people who have found out that they can be heard, but they can't hear other callers. Clearly, you can imagine what would happen if two callers happen to be in contact. Well, for the older versions of Chrome, they ain't going to be hearing each other, okay? Yeah, I mentioned the Firefox plugin on the older Firefox worked. Well, that's problematic too, because the next thing is we're going to run into is the lack of storage and memory and processor speed. So now let's go to, before we go to the questions, we're going to take a look at some computer specifications. So let's go to that screen right now, since the camera's working at least good enough for this. And first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna show you obviously what's going on here with the channel right now, because we're down to 254 subscribers. Apparently a few people have left. That does happen, unfortunately. You know, if they leave and then they come back later. And so, well, let's take a look at the version of Chrome here. This is the version of Chrome. This is the only version available for Snow Leopard. And I don't think the more one for the Lion exists any better. It says it's version 49.0, 2623, 64-bit. This version of Chrome is the one that's having problem with Google Hangouts on air, as I described. Okay, so I was gonna make that bigger, but I don't think I can make that screen bigger. Let's see if I can. Okay, let's see if we can make this bigger for you. So, nope. Okay, so just take my word for it. It says Google Chrome browser version is 49.0, 2623.112, 64-bit. Okay, now let's talk about the computer itself that we're using. This is the older iMac OS 10.68. Processor is 1.83 gigahertz, which is Intel Core 2 Duo. It's got 2.5 gigabytes of RAM with 667 megahertz DDR2 SD RAM. The 667 megahertz is the front side bus of this machine. So you can't go any better than that. It's just the limitations of the hardware itself, and not necessarily doesn't reflect anything else. It just represents what's going on with the computers itself. Now, I'm going to show you also on eBay one of my Macs that I had plans to buy, and I said plans to buy. I didn't say I did buy. Okay, very different answer. So I want to go to according to Ruben, he says to me, he says, "That's spending too much at $305. That's too much money, and you should roll your head and just use that money to pay your bills," which I think is a great idea, but unfortunately, having my YouTube channel basically turned into a pile of crap isn't exactly... Let's see if I have it in here. Probably do. I'm gonna go look for... Yeah, I got an eclectic list of stuff, huh? Connectors, plugs, tubes, eye drops, batteries, hard drives, iPads. Okay, well, I'm gonna go to my my watch list, because I took it out of here because there was a lot of reasons why. First of all, number one is I originally was gonna go ahead and just basically throw the whole thing away and just say I'll get the other stuff I need for my darkroom work, but I still really need this machine because, to be honest with you guys, this computer is old. Okay. Every time I'm accessing this computer right now, let's see, TV, electrical test equipment, TV, home, tablets, computers, cables, and connectors, drive storage, and Blink Media. Okay, keyboards, mice, and pointers. For God's sakes, what? Just go for the highest price first and look your way down. It's easier. Alright, sure thing. So go highest price and go price down because it's an iMac. Unfortunately, I'm surprised that the desktop version of this program lacks oh yeah, chroma key processor. I still had that search on here. I never erased that. Here it is. Well, here's one of them anyway. This is a little more money. This is an Apple iMac 2011. Let's see if I can make the screen bigger so you can see this. Because we know that there's an F button. Not quite that high. There we go. Let's crank it up there. Okay. Wouldn't be surprised if it's so big. Now it's gonna go off the screen. Yeah, yeah, it will. Okay, so let's go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Right here. This is one of the ones on my list. And this one is pretty beat up, but it's got 12 gigabytes of RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive. It's an Apple 2011 iMac, 21.5 inches, model A1311, and then it has this model code CO2GWQ9HJ. That must be like a VIN. i5 2400S at 2.5 gigahertz, 12 gigabytes of internal RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. It says it's in good shape, except there's a lot of sticker residues on it. Please note it says free shipping. Buy it now. Price for this one is $339. I have cheaper ones on my watch list, which really are not that much cheaper. That's pretty much the going rate. Same thing from another computer. HDMI converter. Oh, I didn't forget about you. The HDMI composite encoder is the same price as the iMac. This thing. this would have been great too, because we could have used my Power Mac G5 to do all the video editing, and this it's a Core 2 Duo Mac wouldn't actually have to do any encoding at all. They would rather just plug in to my T-Mobile MiFi and be ready to go. Here's a little cheaper one. Apple iMac 21.5 inch A11, 3.06 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM. This is an i3 540. Okay. Now, I don't know anything about the i3, but clearly it has El Capitan, which is what I would need to get the newest version of Chrome, so we can do Google Hangouts on air, and that is what I was thinking about getting. Never mind the tube amplifiers. That was just something I'm interested in for fun. This is the one for $305. The Apple iMac A1311 Core 2 Duo. Again, same processor speed, 8 gigabytes RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive, El Capitan, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. This is for $305. It says $260 plus the $45 for shipping and handling. And that is what I was going to buy. And you know what? I'm still interested in that. But unfortunately, everybody says, hey, you're spending too much damn money. I don't really want to do any kind of pre-trial over MMD, so that's not going to happen. And of course, Ruben says, why are you willing to continue to pay $38 late fees and 19.9% PayPal rather than pay those fools off? Because that's just it. They're fools. You know, let me explain why. I offered to pay the back amount I owed them, and they said that they will not let me use the account anymore unless they pay the full $1,400. And so basically, it would be better and just easier for me to let them send me to the debt collection company, and then I can arrange for the debt collection company to pay them $50 a month, Ruben. That's why. It's because they're not willing to negotiate with me, but a debt collection company usually will. So, as long as Dory stays, I can agree with the debt collection company to pay them $100 a month, and then they would be all set. But for right now, the problem is with the fact is that this computer has got bad, is getting old, has capacitors that are probably leaky. On top of that, the hard drive is the original hard drive it came with when this computer was made, 160 gigabytes, has not been serviced by me, has not had a hard drive replaced. The clock CMOS battery is probably dead as a doorknob, and Dory, for example, only uses it to play Farmville, so I don't really think it's a big problem for her to use it to play Farmville. But for me, because the fact is that we're using this Mac to do all the key functions of everything, including Google Hangouts on Air, which no longer works on this version of Chrome. I can't do anything with this Mac on the Chrome anymore. And like Brian K. said, I would love to have the option to do Google Hangouts on Air, or he even suggested a site called Discord. The problem is with Discord is that it has a API that you have to download. The problem is that doesn't do me any good because this Mac is too old. Anyway, it will not run the newest drivers or any newer updates because they all require newer Macs with better operating system upgrades. And this cannot do it. No, this can't do it. This can't do it. This Mac's too old. Now, there may be a possibility you could possibly upgrade the Intel Core 2 Duo to an i3 or i5 if you could find out how you could get to the chip if it's not soldered to the board. Yeah, I know some people suggested doing the same thing for the older blue and white G3 I had, but that's a different brand of processor. But here's the point. If we can't replace the Intel Core 2 Duo chip on this motherboard, and even if we could, we still have to replace a lot of electrolytic capacitors. And that means that it's going to be a real colossal nightmare. And besides, you're still going to be stuck with the same front side bus of 667 megahertz. it's not going to be a pretrial. Michele already explained that to everybody, but everybody keeps thinking Michele didn't explain it to them. People of Peace has decided to basically turn himself in and called it quits. Exactly. So there's no phone call trial calling in right now. But we are talking about is computers, and we are going to talk about People of Peace's actions and the videos that are on his channel as well, which he did pretty good using his Windows PC to make them. But unfortunately enough, that's a video on his channel. I can play some of that video if you want to see it. But for now, I want to know, guys, straight out, is what should we do? Should we go ahead and spend the $305 and buy the necessary iMac with 8 gigabytes of RAM with an i5 processor, or such as the i5-2400S and a 500 gigabyte hard drive, or should we spend a little more and get one from a recycling company that also is an i5 at the same speed with 1 terabyte hard drive and a 12 gigabyte of storage? I would think that since the memory is relatively inexpensive, I could buy the $305 one right now, and then maybe eventually upgrade the memory to 16 or 32 gigabytes as needed. So I really think that would be the way to go. Now, if those people who never seen the People of Peace video, would you show it to them? I could show them the video on their his page, but I really think you could just as easily find it yourself. It's true, you could. Yeah. So that's the question. First of all, let's deal with the first one. Should we buy the computer? Or should we buy the iPad? Or should we just buy the photographic chemicals and a film scanner so I can go back in the film photography again? I already bought the developing tank and the measuring cups and everything for that. I just didn't have the money last July to buy the chemicals. So we could buy the chemicals and the film scanner for about, well, let's see, that's on my shopping list. Let me go back to my shopping list for a minute. I'll show them talking about here. So let's go back to my shopping cart. I'm making the screen big so you guys can see all this. But I gotta make this a little smaller. Don't press the F keys by mistake. I'll try not to. Okay. Alright, here we go. Here we have the 5 rolls of Kodak T-Max 100 Pro film, the T-Max developer, the Kodaflex solution from Black and White Film Developing. The reason I chose the liquid chemicals instead of the powders is because it makes it really easy to get a good, photography session. The PhotoFlow 200 is, this stuff is really not needed that much. But it's useful. It's a drying agent to help keep your film from getting spots on it. Then we have the film scanner here it's not as cheap as the one I was going to get, but it's a little bit better for $79.98. Total comes up to $177.50. That's this price right here. So I'll just see if we can highlight it there. It's total $177.57. And the reason I was going to buy that instead of the Mac was that I could have given PayPal credit this month $100. But you know what? Right now, the computer's still in danger anyway because, it's going to be coming up at the beginning of the month. And I do want to I really do want to watch my P's and Q's with the budget. So, it's really a tough sell. Because right now the point is maybe I can go for the i3 iMac, and then eventually if I can figure out how to replace the processor, as I've seen some people do, but it looks like it's a major surgical procedure to pop off the glass front and go ahead and put in the i5 2400S, or maybe find an i7 that's compatible with the same socket type and plug it in, and it would give a better performance. but I don't know how you would change the clock multiplier on the board, because I never worked with an iMac and did that before with an iMac, or even for the matter with a PC. The closest thing I ever did to a PC was to upgrade from an Intel Pentium DX2 to a Pentium DX4, and that was so long ago that things have changed. The clocks were the same, so I didn't really have to really worry about that. But this new stuff is way different than the old stuff. Well, the thing is Michelle right now can't wait 6 months, because she has no idea if Dory's going to be here in 6 months. We have no idea if Dory's going to be here even beyond next month. We don't know what Dory's plans are. That's the reason why we have to jump at this as soon as we do. And I got to see if there's going to be a renters rebate program for next year. If there is, this year, if there is renters rebate, that would be November. But you guys want it to see me get back on Google Hangouts, and I would like to see about doing that too, so that we could have those chats. But the existing computer does not have the horsepower or the current browser technology needed to use Google Hangouts on air, because they changed the firmware in it and it's no longer compatible with the older Chrome browser. Well, make sure to take some antacid, please. Seriously, Ruben. Yeah, well, that's my other thing too. I would like to do that, but it's complicated. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind going back into photography. That was one of the reasons why I kind of missed working in taking pictures. I used to do a lot of pictures and black and white pictures, because color photography just never worked for me. So when do I spend money if you don't know if you have it? Well, the same way the government does. The government spends money they don't have either, but the difference is I don't like the government. I'm not going to go to the equivalent to Congress and go, could you please increase my debt ceiling so I can spend more money? No, I was going to spend money that I had. When Story paid me the other $200, plus the other $200 that's in my checking account. Actually, right now, yeah, it's about right. It'd be about $400. And then Michelle would have some extra money. Then I would have had some extra money in my savings account. But, you know, that's the issue here. YouTube is my only way of reaching out to people. And this is the most frustrating thing, is when I got a computer that drops dead in the middle of a live stream, or the camera doesn't work, or the camera works and then it stops working, which I didn't even check to see if the camera's working. Yeah, it's working. Good. That's good. That's what I mean. Sometimes this camera will freeze on me. So that's the situation. So as far as getting back to photography, I certainly still do. And I think it would be fun. Would anybody really be interested in seeing my photographs? Are you trying to put them in a magazine or something? No. You're not even on Snapchat or Instagram. No. How are you going to put them on YouTube? Well, I can make a video. I can make a photograph montage. Yeah, but okay. It's an idea, I guess. Of course, it would be good for you to get off your ass and actually walk around a bit. That's another thing where photography would be great. Is when your arthritis doesn't keep trying to keep it kind of lock you down, you can always go on outside, take pictures, and then come back and develop the film. Say, you know, twice a week, 3 times a week, depending on how many rolls of film you shoot, and then you can go ahead and start rebuilding a photo album of pictures. Well, it always interested me, because ever since I was a kid, I mean, I was doing photography in high school. I was doing photography a lot of ways. But what I also will say is, even if I didn't get into photography, one of the other things is I would like to have done is, you know, possibly got an iPad instead, which would be about as much as the chemicals in the film scanner. The whole reason there would be is that I could sit out in the park, I could still do a live stream in the park, Except the only problem is the park actually closes at 7 o'clock at night. The park closes at 7 o'clock at night. Very true. But then again, I could always do it on the porch. Yeah, that's true. No, not really. I would say not really. I mean, with 4 cats in here, 2 that are not fixed, 2 that are fixed, it can be kind of rough in here. Right now, all the cats are inside, so... But they usually go outside to pee, because they're indoor cats. They don't just sit in the house and pee. But the cat box can get kind of rough, and I have to clean that every day, because of the cat clumps in it. So, kind of interesting question you'd ask about that. I mean, yeah. So, no, my apartment doesn't smell like that. Because I learned long ago with boy cats is you gotta let them go outside when they want to go outside, or they will make you miserable. Especially my little black cat, still dusty there. He has a very powerful smell, especially. But most of the time he goes outside now, so it's less of a problem. But it's been so cold that honestly, I don't think it's really very advantageous for him to stay outside too long, because I don't want him to get hypothermia, which is not going to be a major problem in a couple of days. Except the problem is it's going to warm up a bit, but I don't know if I have the weather app on this thing installed. Did you install the weather channel? Did I install the weather channel? Let me see how the video is playing. It's advantageous for him to stay outside too long, because I don't want him to get hypothermia. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so let's go let's see if we can find the Weather Channel app in here. You didn't install it. I didn't think I did. You got so much development tools in here. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So I know that the news has the forecast. I only know I can see right now it's gonna be warming up in a few days, but it's gonna warm up in a few days. Well, you know what you can do is you can go to the National Weather Service on this thing on the computer here. Yeah, let me do that. So let me switch over to here. I'm gonna go to my bookmarks file. I worked hard to clean up this place. Okay. So let's go to the National Weather Service. Okay. So let's just go to the regular weather maps for right now. Graphical. There we go. So here we have what they call regular maps. So high resolution version. Let's see. More from the National Digital Forecast Database. Okay, graphical maps. Okay, so let me scroll the screen up a bit so we can see this. I realized it was a mistake I did. Okay, so let me just shrink the screen down just a tiny touch. Okay. You keep pressing F keys. I know. Okay, so let's start with today's temperatures. Unfortunately, this stupid National Weather Service is still behind the times. Even though the United States supports both American and international measurements, they continue to insist that tonight, we can see that cold temperature here, looking where I am on the map here. Let's see if we can scroll up here where I am so you guys can see this. Oh, please, Michelle. Unfortunately, if I move, this thing is going to download. So let me just... Okay, so right now, tonight... You can see in Connecticut is in the Fahrenheit. This is going to be about 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Monday, a little bit high. In the blues, in about 40s. Monday night will again be in the 10s. Tuesday daytime will be in the 40s again. Maybe low 50s. Then, yeah, definitely low 40s, 50s. Okay. Tuesday night is going to be a little bit warmer, but not by much. It's going to probably be between 20 and 30. And, of course, Wednesday is going to be a little warmer for me, in the 40 to 50 range. So temperature-wise, it's going to warm up. And you can see that if you go back to the weather forecast, remember the trend that the cold blister, as I call it, was here. This is from Monday. Tonight, you can see that this cold is staying pretty much entrenched, and it still stays entrenched throughout Tuesday. So you can see, looking at tonight, it's going to be pretty close to the same thing. But in the daytimes, which is Wednesday and Tuesday, and of course today, okay. So it's going to be a fairly nice day, possibly for maybe Wednesday. Might be a good day to go outside if I can see things stay between 40 and 50 degrees. And have a good time. So we'll see what happens with that. That's the weather map for the National Weather Service. So let's go back to the chat so we can see what's going on here. And no one can call in. She ignores the crap out of the phones. Okay, first of all, I didn't even say I was taking phone calls yet, did I? No, I did not. I'm going to take phone calls, but I wanted to get the main gist of the news out, and that was the whole reason I'm doing that. So now let's get the phone number up there on the screen for you guys. And I want to keep this thing pretty simple. So I got the phones on now. So you guys can't say I'm ignoring you because the phones are now on. Okay, great. So you can now... Okay, so what do you guys think... First of all, last time I had the phones on, no one called. Fake phones are on now, but no one called. No one calls. No one ever calls, except people who I would call seem to want to create headaches for me, which is the reason why we end up turning the phones off, is because I only can tolerate so much of this. Some people have actually, like I said, have asked me if we can ever do Google Hangouts on air again. There's no reason we will not do it again, and here it is this. And Google Hangouts on air, you guys can mute me, which is really, really irritating. You can also mute other guests on the show, too, which means that it creates a real chaotic mess to everybody when they wonder why the sound went out and everything like that. So the phone is on, guys, as I said. Okay. There we go. Let's take this call. Go ahead, call. You're in the air.
Yeah, Michelle, this is Pete.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit upset. I'm watching your video there.
Excuse me?
I'm a bit upset watching your video.
And why is that?
Well, it's a two-parter. Number one, I hear you going on and on about how you're going to get an iPad and this and that, okay? And me and you both go to the soup kitchen. We both know there's better ways to spend your money.
Well, first of all, I have not seen you at...
other folks can't afford.
I have not seen you at the soup kitchen. You have never even come by my table? You have never seen...
No, because we talked about this. You came by my table, okay? This was about a year ago, and you know what? Sandy will back me up on this, okay?
Well,
and you just tells everybody that you're the Snow Queen, you're a wizard, you got powers and whatnot. Turns out it's not true. Now you're changing your mind.
Wait a minute. First of all, when were you at my table last?
The last time we interacted was about one of the few times we interacted, and it was about a year ago. I don't know exactly. You can ask Sandy. Okay. Anyways, here's the point. That's real upsetting. Okay. At least if you're gonna, you know, abuse the system like that, at least don't tell people. That would be my suggestion. Don't, like, make a show out of it. Okay, and now number 2 is, okay, what's up with the black fella? What's his name? Kelly Jackson Kelly? Why wouldn't you let him speak?
Well, right now the phone's on, but you're on it right now, so he can't call.
Yeah, but it just seemed like every time he had something to say, you really played it down, and it felt like maybe some of the white people in the chat were getting, treated
I turned the
differently.
phone down because when people start acting like a bunch of idiots,
who was acting like an idiot?
Well, not yet, but they always do. They always do.
Yeah.
So I do a timeout, basically, so I can go ahead and so they get the understanding that I don't want to play that game. Right now, you're talking to me civil. That's nice. Now, what in the hell is this color out on cat abuse? BS. First of all, my cats are not abused. My cats are fed, watered, cat box cleaned. They go indoors, outdoors. They have warm beds to sleep on. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so hopefully you take the necessary steps to maybe start treating the black people a little bit better. And then, like I said, I would strongly suggest you don't advertise the things you're planning on buying, because that can be quite a thing,
What do you think of this comment by Mr. Laugh? He says, don't spend your money on YouTube, Michelle. What do you think about that comment?
Well, what did he say?
He says, don't spend your money on YouTube, Michelle.
I'd say that's a very wise suggestion.
Well, I mean, first of all, we know that YouTube is having some serious issues right now, which has affected a lot of channels. But you guys, I'm talking about to all my audience, you may all know that YouTube is one of the best of the well-known of the live streaming sites at this point. Unfortunately, there's a lot of content on YouTube that is definitely of questionable quality. No doubt about that. But for so many people, YouTube has become a way that they can reach out to people. And, of course, he hung up the phone. I didn't hang up on him, guys. He hung up on me. Right. Okay. So, I think that YouTube, as I said, is because it is one of the major, well-known video sites. They say over 500 hours of video is uploaded every minute to YouTube through all the servers. But unfortunately, YouTube's algorithms have a notorious habit of pulling up very, very extreme videos for video suggestions. Let's be honest, conspiracy videos are popular, and that's the truth. And apparently the algorithm knows that. So, I agree that YouTube is kind of limiting your output in a sense, because it's like one of the best known sites. I was on Twitch. I'm still on Twitch, but not on a regular basis, because unfortunately Twitch is a gaming site. YouTube is a gaming site, but it also is a video site. And besides that, if Michelle's not playing video games on Twitch, I mean, who's going to want to watch this kind of video on Twitch? Good point. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Hello, Michelle.
Yeah. Well, so he didn't say anything bad. He just called and hung up the phone. Yeah. So, to all the people watching these comments, what would you suggest we invest in? Because, like I said, YouTube is the best way for people to reach out to the community at large. There is not a competitor to YouTube that is even close to the saturation point that YouTube has. Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I think. But Michele wants to be making professional video content, so it's really hard to make professional video content when you got a computer that is constantly dumping its cookies all over the floor all the time. No kidding. And because YouTube's Chrome extension no longer works for her version of Chrome, she can't do Google Hangouts on air. And that makes it really hard too, because Michele really would like to be out there and being able to have video callers and things like that. But it seems like we can't, because the computer hardware is just not capable of doing it well. Those two. So the phone is on, guys. And I did not turn it off. It's still on. Still on. So, by the way, have you guys checked out the ability to replay these chats? The YouTube app on the iPhone and the Android have the ability now to replay these chats. So if you ever watch these things in the reruns, not only do you see the video, but you can also see the chats. They'll come up as a separate window, just like you do when you were actually chatting. But we still mirror the screen chats, because that way those people who are not using the newer phones can still have a copy of this for their file, so they can always get back to it. Yeah, right now it's quiet. It's quiet. It's usually quiet anyway. Okay. I'm surprised TNCC isn't on here. Joining late, how is everyone this evening? Quiet. There's no one really going on right now. It's just me and you and this Go Moon, and that's about it. I think most everybody else kind of left. Let me just check here. Participants, just the three of us. Nothing yet. Brian Key's here. Okay, so Brian, I wanted to talk to you and everybody else about what we were talking about with the computer upgrade thing. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, please rewind the video and you will see what we're talking about. The Google Chrome and Google Hangouts issue. And, no, not at this time. Yeah, Pete called tonight. He didn't say a lot. So, I was talking about, just to give everybody up to speed, at the beginning of the video, I was talking about how I wanted to get a better computer, so originally I could do the new Google Chrome, so we could actually do the update for the Chrome app that doesn't work with the, for Hangouts, that doesn't work with the older Chrome browser anymore. And unfortunately, several people have kind of got a little bit up in arms at the thought of me spending $305 for a 2011 iMac with a i5 processor, i5-2400S processor, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive, because those people think that's ridiculous. But on the other hand, at this current technology, I can't do anything about the Google Chrome, because my computer doesn't have the resources to run El Capitan, so we can get the newest Chrome browser and hopefully get Google Hangouts on air working. So we have to use FMLA, which is a pig in its own right, to do the live streaming. Now, to be honest when I say this, is that the FMLE and the Cam Twist works out great because it allows me to make my video a little more professional, but unfortunately it doesn't really help because at least there's a lot of resource on the computer, and this poor Intel Core 2 Duo machine is pretty slow. Yeah, I know, but it seems like Ruben doesn't think I need a newer computer. He, of course, he can spend $13,000 for the elite top-of-the-line Mac Pro where it would 45K display, and I can't afford that. I didn't even want to go there. I just wanted to get a 2011 Mac because it can run High Sierra as well as El Capitan, but that's an issue. Yeah, it's an issue. It's all an issue. And with a 500 gigabyte hard drive, it's going to make it possible for me to have more room for my development software, so I can start developing software on it. Let's take a phone call here. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Hello, Michelle. Terribly sorry about that. It appears I had some service issues.
Excuse me?
It appears I had some service issues. I called earlier. Unfortunately, I dropped the call. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm doing right. This is Brian, right?
No, this is not Brian.
Oh,
as you may know, I formerly went by ISTNCC.
Oh,
but,
TNCC.
Today I was outed by the person who's actually on pre-trial right now, People of Peace.
Well,
so everybody knows it. The elephant's in the room.
I saw
the name is
I saw the video. I saw the videos on his channel, but you know what? I'll say one thing very nicely: is it's not your past that matters. It's your present that matters. Okay, and we've discussed before in a few chats before that even you agreed that some of the content that you had produced in the past may have been had some negative connotations that were even you said may have been above and beyond what you originally were intending.
Yes, most certainly. You know, I think everybody makes mistakes, but you know, everybody knows now who I am. I am Craig Cobb. He, you know, he got me. He gave out my information, the address, and so it's been non-stop today. So, needless to say, I have quite a bit to say about People of Peace as far as in regards to this trial. He's made threats against my life. He's got others making threats against my life. Many people mailed me saying that they sent me the cat shit. So I've got loads and loads, probably tons of cat shit coming to me address. And yeah, People of Peace is definitely.
I got a couple of questions here for you.
I can't believe you did that.
Alright, stop. Okay, here's the first question. It says, it's more of a comment, but I think it's kind of a question. It says, it's funny to think how many times you two have actually talked on the phone. I think we've only talked on the phone, what, maybe like 3 times? Between the phone interview and the, and this one, and I think one other time we talked on the phone.
Yes, I'd say that.
Okay. And then, of course...
Now everybody knows I'm good.
Alright, like I said, the point is the past is the past. I don't really care about your past. Let's work in the present and the future. That's what I say to my friends all the time. You can't change the past. The past is done. It's the present you can change.
I completely agree, Michelle, and I doubt that I will make another video or post that offends you.
But I would like to ask you a question, though, based on what he said about this Craig Cobb situation. Okay? Now, maybe you can help me understand this a little bit, and I'm not trying to start a war, okay? Why would somebody want to be a white supremacist?
Well,
to answer, Michelle. I never thought I'd have to come out here publicly outed as Craig Cobb. But it's just, you know, that's how I was raised. My parents were white supremacists. My brothers, white supremacists. Everybody around me, white supremacists. And it wasn't until I learned that I was 14% black that I changed my thought a little bit. And I am a changed man. I no longer hate just the blacks. I also hate the Jews. I hate the Hispanics.
But why?
Anybody different than me.
Yeah,
but it's not a hate. It's not a hate that I want something bad to happen to you.
All right, but
it's a love kind of hate.
My question is why? Why would you hate people, especially people that you do not know personally? If you don't know personally, that's different. I can understand that. But if you don't
understand what I mean by hate, Michelle. You see, it's not a kind of hate that you're thinking of. It's not a hatred, okay? What I hate.
Well, the hate I'm talking about in this case is...
I believe in their country, they should be the top dog, okay? And they don't want whites coming into their country and mixing with other people. Just like what?
Yeah, but
they're not Americans.
The United States, from its beginning, back when the Pilgrims came over here, back when Virginia, the colony of Virginia, was established by the British Empire through the colonies, this country has always been a country of immigrants. It's always been that way.
White immigrants, I agree. I agree.
But the most important thing is, because we're all immigrants, for example, are you going to hate me because I'm Italian Norwegian? Are you going to hate me?
Michelle, that's not funny. You're white. Why would I have a problem with you? But I feel like maybe I'm being put on trial right now, and I believe this pre-trial is for people of peace. You see, because he ruined my life, you know? Like I said, I got a metric ton of cat shit coming to me doorstep. Do you want a metric ton of cat shit coming to your doorstep?
What's that?
He gave out my address.
Yeah, I know.
I've been getting death threats all day long. He mailed me. He told me he was going to slit my throat.
I saw the video.
And now I'm getting death threats. My phone's ringing right now. I'm looking at it. It's going to be somebody telling me they're going to kill me. And it's all because...
I know one thing. He did a pretty good job in that video. As far as the quality of it goes overall. I think as far as the technical quality, I think he did get it pretty well.
Coming from you, that's a true compliment.
Well, let's put it this way. When I looked at there was about anywhere from 19 to 22 views on the 4 parts. So there are parts of it. The third part of the video, I couldn't hear any sound at all. Something obviously went wrong with his sound system on the third part. The fourth part was...
I'm not sure what video you're talking about, Michelle. I have quite a few of them up.
If you go to his page, you can see the three videos specifically about you, and then there's the fourth one about the Riveras, which...
Are you referring to people of peace?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it even hurts just bringing up his name. It's... God, oh, I'm so scared. He's a bad, bad man. He's a bad man.
Well, maybe the first question I'd like to ask you is, come back to us, is what are you going to do to fix all the things that have happened that you kind of made a mockery of my channel without even really thinking about the ramifications of it? I mean, sure, I know you said you wanted to help my channel, but like I said, some of the videos on my channel were pretty bad. I'm going to show you guys the videos I'm talking about. So let's see if I can get the videos to play without potentially killing the computer and the network connection at the same time. So let's go to back to the YouTube page here. Then this is going to play the video here on the MMD Archives channel, as it's called now. So let's go to this.
You can just call me Chris Cobb. Or Craig Cobb, sorry. I'm just so...
Well, I always remember it was TNCC, so it's just easier for me to remember it that way. So let's go to the name of the channel, which is where the video is. This is what we're going to talk about. I don't want to change the icon. Jesus Christ. The stupid thing is always doing stupid shit like this. Why do you want to change the channel icon? Hey! Listen to me, you stupid piece of crap. I didn't tell you to do that. It's doing the same old shit again. It's always doing the same old shit. Alright, so let's see if I can get...
I didn't do anything.
Some reason stuck. Okay.
Victim shaming.
So anyway, the point is, let me see if we can try to get this thing working here. I'm just going to show you. Okay, well, let's go to my channels of subscriptions here. Let's see. There we go. This is another reason I need a better computer, guys. This thing is crappy, lousy, really just atrociously bad. So let's see if I can scroll down. That's the wrong key. What? That's the wrong key. Okay, until here's the right one. Alright, so let's go to this. I'm not going to play the whole thing because of time, but let's see if I can show some of this. By the way, who's Michelle's cat, Rusty? It's not my cat, Rusty. No, -5, Miss Virgo, M. Share. Ha! It's not here anymore. It's still here. It's just probably just scrolled right past it. AV.
I don't know what you're referring to, Michelle. Why am I being put on trial right now? I'm getting death threats against me life, and you're putting me on trial. I don't understand. People of Peace is the one who needs to be put on trial. He is the one that needs to answer for his actions with a ban.
Anybody. Listen to me. Let's start with the basics here. I'm not having a trial with anybody. That's not the point of these chats. It's not to judge people. Remember I said that this video was a pretty good video, except for a few slight issues beginning. Because I wanted people to be able to reach me. And, where is it? Wow. Way down there? It's still scrolling? Yeah, still scrolling. It's all the way at the beginning. All the way at the beginning. Woo! Well, there's got to be a faster way to go through this. Yeah, I think...
Well, I'm glad you're having fun getting death threats.
Well, anyway, the point is it's in here. And you guys, I'll just show you a link to it so you guys can see it if it's still in here, unless you took it down to edit it. Maybe you did, I don't know.
Maybe I did.
It was a good video overall. It just, like I said, is that maybe if you got rid of the creepy voice and some of the comments were funny because I actually had to laugh at some of them too. So I didn't think that it was overall too bad. It's just that I think that there could have been some improvements made in the video that could make it a little better. Some of these are funny. Some of these are funny.
Yes. Well, as I explained to you earlier, Michelle, I don't have any of the fancy equipment you do. I've got a Chromebook that cost me $100 4 years ago, and that's what I make me fucking video on. So, I'm sorry if you think it's shite, but I'm not spending money on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm Craig fucking Cobb.
Well, you know what, I don't know why you would have to spend $100. I don't quite get that part, but I'm not even going to go through and argue about that. But the thing is that right now, if you look at your channel, my channel, as far as the content, and this NASQIpedia thingy, I don't know how well that does, because obviously I can't figure out how to post on it anyway. Well, I don't think you want to. I don't think I want to.
That is NASQIpedia. It stands for North American Snow Queen.
No, I know that. It stands for.
It's a database for your channel, and, well, I know you can't post on it. It's sort of intentional. It's meant to archive what you do. So if you were able to pull things down or edit things, there'd be no point in having the website. It can just go to your YouTube.
Well, all I can tell you right now is that one of the things is my channel is pretty small. It really is not a big channel. We already know that. It's kind of it's kind of specialized in the sense it only covers a few topics, and I'm not the only one that has channels like that. There are other channels too that are small. They're just eclectic channels. Brian K says Rusty has a YouTube page. Yes, he does. Apparently created by someone else. Bill says, darn internet is bugging out on me. Well, that's probably because I'm trying to scroll through a list and it's causing everything to get boxed up on the side of it.
Michelle, I'm gonna have to let you go. My phone is ringing non-stop. I've got to start taking some of these death threats. So just, hopefully you do the right thing and People of Peace, his new channel, ends up getting banned from this.
No, already.
And I'm sure if he pops up with a fake channel, we'll figure it out pretty quickly.
Like I already talked to him earlier today, and he told me that he's going to be lying low for a while because he wants to focus on his education in school, which is good.
Yeah, I'm sure that will probably result in maybe a week. So when he comes back in a week, when he thinks it's all clear, do the right thing. Especially if I die. Just know, Michelle, if I die, People of Peace did it. Everyone, I want you to know if I die.
I got an idea.
People of Peace did it.
An idea.
He killed me. That son of a bitch killed me.
I got an idea. And you guys can do this too. You can go to the Peace channel and you can talk to him and you can troll him a little bit because obviously that's what I would say. I'm back, okay. Road Martin, how you doing? We're talking, we started about a lot of different topics today. Well, I never got into that idea. Back when I was a kid, we didn't even have the internet. We used to go into bulletin boards. Local bulletin boards, usually on FidoNet or sometimes not. And I would connect it at 300 bits per second to 2400 bits per second. On my Commodore 64, my Technicolor computer, and I would access the bulletin boards. I even ran one for a while, many years ago. Well, I don't know. I watched this video, like I said. That's all I can say. I don't know if I agree with it, but go ahead, call you on the air.
Nigger.
And who's this? Well, I'm certainly not. No, you're not. Anyway, so I don't know as far as I don't want to pick sides. I don't want to take sides. So reading some of these comments here, I gotta admit that some of these are kind of strong. So, like I said, when I used to read bulletin boards as a kid, we'd have a local chat conference that was sometimes were pretty heated, especially the Nintendo chat was usually really, sometimes the people would get really angry about local news events. Okay. Go ahead, call her in here.
I met this lady in Hollywood. She had green hair, but damn, she looked good. I took her to my house because she was fine, but then she whooped out a dick that was bigger than mine.
Excuse me? Yeah, but not by choice. It just happens to be the way my DNA is. See, that's just the other thing, too. I don't understand why some people talk about how, it's, like we have a choice of our skin color. We don't. My mom was white, my dad was white, my grandparents were white, all my family was white. And, but that doesn't mean that I'm against anyone else. I've gotten to be good friends with many people of all races and ethnic groups, and I never had a problem where I would seriously will hold a grudge against any particular ethnic group. Well, I don't think it's really necessary either, Jackson Kelly. I really don't think it's necessary to do that either. Remember, people are born, people will, of course, pass on, and so I'm sure eventually Bill, when I still got my old... Go ahead, clear on here.
Shit, nigga, it's Lamar Reeves.
Who is this?
Lamar Reeves.
Okay, so this is Bill?
Nah, this your boy Lamar Reeves.
Okay, how you doing?
Well, shit, I'm angry. I'm feeling oppressed and I'm angry. I'm feeling like the white man holding me down. Yeah, I'm angry. I feel like they're trying to make a clown out you, boy. I'm angry. I'm real upset. This dude, People of Peace, he gonna need to answer for it.
Well,
you see, too long I've been held down by the white man. It's about time a proud black man took the stand.
One of the things
he testified this nigga.
One of the things I
he wanna come around here like he gonna pull the trigger. I roll up on him in an all-black camp. He don't know what to do when I take the mask off and I show him my scar. Then you hear the thing go by. Yeah, you hear the thing go by. You know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I was gonna
That's
say,
what I think. I'm testifying against this nigga, People of Peace.
Alright, well, first of all...
I ain't a snitch nigga and I want y'all to know.
Alright, okay, so...
But this dude right here, he did crimes for real. Against my people, against the black man. We gonna take a stand. Oh, you use that line, man.
Well, Brian K. was saying something on the internet real quick. Well, I'm glad it's working right now, but... okay, I was going to say was if you guys have a personal gripe about People of Peace, you can contact him on his own channel, you know. The last video
What's his email address?
The last video is...
What's his email address? I'm under duress. I need his email address. So he can confess for his crimes against the black man. He needs to do some time.
You want his email? Just go to his channel. He has a way.
Baby.
He has a way.
Nah, he ain't gonna give it to me because I'm a black man. You see.
No, that's not
so
the way
Michelle, do the white thing. Hand it over. Give me the key. What's the email address I need to see?
Well. Okay, I was going to say, but if you go to a person's channel, most of the time...
See, for too long, a black man been held down. For too long, we've been silenced by these white clowns. No more will I be told no. I will stand up tall, and I will say for sure that People of Peace is #1 on the list. He getting hit. It is what it is. See, because a nigga like me, Lamar Reeves, is a real one, you see. Just ask Jeeves. That's all I got to say. I'm out. Peace.
Well, right now, okay, let's explain one thing here real quick here. I want to read some of these comments for those of you who may not be able to read the screen for some reason. Yes, he reached out to me. He says, People of Peace reached out to me. Necessarily has nothing to do with it. Michelle, your internet is holding up longer than 30 seconds. That's the record. Well, there might be a lot of reasons why that is tonight. And the first one is we got a new battery in our MiFi, which is keeping it going better. The LS People of Peace was standing up against racism, and I would like to stand up against racism too, because I don't support it, and I still don't. To discriminate against discrimination is to discriminate. I don't want to discriminate against anybody. I just want to basically just try to keep my head above water. That's the sheet. Lamar, you colors are all the same. Says Bill. No, I don't think so. You're a real philosopher, Brian. I have never seen it do this before. What? The internet keep working? It's because I put a brand new battery in my MiFi, which I bought with the money that Dory gave me. I was able to buy batteries, replacement batteries for my equipment, so the internet doesn't die on us all the time. What is a MiFi? A MiFi is a mobile internet to Wi-Fi box. This connection, for example, is connected by T-Mobile. This is not connected by Frontier, which would have been crappy. Link completely. Excuse me. I watched the videos and I didn't hear Pop utter one word to threat. All the young man was saying was telling the truth, and yeah, I watched the video too. But did anyone notice that the third video didn't have any sound on it, or was it just my phone that was acting up at the time I was watching it? I don't know. Good question. Good question. Let's see if my Android phone can play it. What the hell is he called a site these days? I don't know. He changed his name so many times now. I don't even know what this website's called anymore. But I suppose I can find out quick enough. So let me look here. Let's see. Videos only all. Let's see. We have the power something. The power. It's not the power of the people. Oh, okay. Channel list. Okay. The elevator channel on the screen set of total lighting. Shoot, I have no idea what this channel is called anymore. I lost track of it. It's he's changed his channel so many dang times I can't remember what his channel names are anymore. He just keeps changing his channel names and then I can never figure out where I'm looking for. Go to your history because you watched the video. It says in your history. Oh, right. Right, it would be in my library, I think. Or is it in my history? History. Let's see if I can find the video and the channel name. It's called... Let's see. Okay, here's the third one. MMD Archives, a.k.a. TNC, a.k.a. Mr. Cobb, gets a heap of... And this is from the... We are the power... It looks like Weary Power. Weary Power. Okay. Okay, so here's the sound. Let's see. He doesn't really talk much. He just talks, plays music. That's part of it's kind of irritating. Then the rest of it's silent. And he's... So he starts out with intro music. Did you turn your sound down? No, it's all the way up. Oh, that's lame. Yeah, it's lame. It's like I said, it's silent. It's like he kind of forgot to turn his microphone on or something on the third part. So, the first part you can hear the music in the video, which is number 3, for those of you who don't know. It's called the MMD Archives, a.k.a. TNCC, a.k.a. Mr. Cobb Gets a Taste of His Own Cookies, Part 3. That has 26 views. Unfortunately, there's no sound, so I have to give it dislike on that one. I can't hear. Oh, he focuses on the music, but he doesn't actually dialogue it. Okay. The threats are in messages. They're posted in the evil man said, I can feel Pop is the one that murdered me if I die. Okay. I don't... Okay, chat crapped out. No, chat's still going. Okay. Weary the power. Oh, excuse me, but Brian K., as far as I know, it is going solid. Yeah, let's check it. See what it's doing here. Oh, Again, your updates keep coming up here. Quit software update, computer! Goddamn thing is always killing me. See, there's something in this computer. It keeps trying to go on the software updates, but there's no software updates. What? I don't want this one! What? FaceTime is running. Close FaceTime. What else is starting up on here? Stop slamming the damn mouse, Michelle. That's what's happening. Okay. Okay, so that one we went on. What do we went on? VLC, I don't want that on. iMovie. Please, gag me with a pitchfork. Okay, so I'm not going to wait for this stupid thing to shut down. Okay. No! Don't update your thumbnails on this thing. Oh, for God's sakes. I got it. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so that's working at this point. Yep, okay. So it's working. No, she's not even here. But there is, in fact, the T-Mobile MiFi right now is not being used by anybody else at this point. Because we're not on Frontier right now. It's this computer, it keeps starting shit when I don't want to start anything. It's true. Okay, so let's see. What we got here right now? Yeah, I got a lot of stuff on my taskbar, but I'm only running 2 things. 3, and they better be the 3 I want. 4, because you got the Finder. Okay, good. Well, anything else? Well, when we check to see how the stream's playing. Alright, so go back to my window. Now, for viewing the videos, I'm not using the
looks like if it's still going to be disco.
Let's see, so it's my channel. Here's the live stream. I'll play it. Alright, so go back to my window. Now, for viewing the videos, I'm not using the
Looks like if it's still going to be disco.
She's not on the network. I just told you that for some reason, every so often this Mac starts software that I didn't tell it to start, and it starts clogging up the network. That's why it was doing that. I'll check to see how everything else is doing here. Go back to my taskbar. And yeah, that's working. That's the important part. That's the important part. Because otherwise, yeah. Like I said, I just checked it on my phone, which is connecting through Frontier, okay. And it's playing fine. And that's what we were talking about. I have the worst luck with this thing. What? Oh, this thing is weird. Yeah.
Shut down.
That's because you turned the sound down.
No, don't update.
Alright. So, that's playing fine on the phone right now.
Weird.
Okay, so that's playing fine. We need the old people piece of gumbo. We all get I think you got a problem with Dusty the Gap or Torres, your son, and the other son, Dusty. Well, Dusty and Rusty get along great. It's Torres, which is the black sheep of the family of cats. Tan sheep. Because considering the fact is that Dusty is black and gray, Rusty is brown, and his son Torres is the tan cat. So right now, it's 8:20. So far, we've been doing pretty good. And like I said, I checked what he was showing. I listened to his argument. But like I said, I really don't want to have to take sides in the matter. I just told him that, you know, it'd be best to be a little lay aside. Go ahead. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Michelle, how you doing?
Tonight, who's this?
This is, just call me Rich.
Who's this? Rich?
Rich, yeah. I gotta know about this nor'easter. Is it coming or not? I cannot miss more work for snow.
Excuse me?
The nor'easter. Is it coming or not?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fizzled out. It's gonna go to the Canadian Maritimes.
And what is the Canadian Maritime?
So it's not gonna affect the east coast of, or the west, yeah, east coast of Massachusetts at all. Except maybe some of the underlying islands may still get some of the snow.
Is this your doing, or is this the king, the Snow King's doing?
My work.
Can we be sure of this?
You know, what's funny, is that if he really was to show these guys some skill, why doesn't he do something with the west coast of the United States, which right now, in the Seattle, in the area, they're getting pummeled by snow as they are in Colorado.
Well, I'm on the East Coast, so I'm not sure about what's going on the West Coast. I can't do the snow anymore, and having the NASQ on the line, I got to make sure that, you know, the weather is not going to hit again in spring of all times.
Well, right now, I looked at the extended forecast for the next few days, and the good news is that we're all going to be getting a break from it. So, at this point,
that's wonderful news. And
well,
let me ask you one more thing. Let me ask you one more thing. Did Pete call in tonight? I was hoping to hear from Pete again.
What's that?
Pete,
What
the
about?
guy who
What?
did he call in?
Yes, he did.
Do you have a timestamp for that so I could go back and listen?
He called in a little earlier tonight, actually closer to around the 7:30 mark, I think.
Okay. I will go back and listen. Michelle, you have a wonderful snowy night.
What's that?
I said have a wonderful snowy night.
Okay, well, right now it's not snowy. It's cold, though, but it's not snowy.
Well, I gotta go now, so take it easy.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Okay. Actually, I do need to find a home for Dusty, because Dusty was supposed to have been taken in by a local gentleman, but he never got his housing straightened out to pick him up. Likewise, Dory's trying to find a home for her cat, too. Now, the sad truth is Dory likes her kitty cat, but I don't know. It's just problematic. If you ever look at the video I had with the 4 cats today, Dusty's a little gray kitty cat. He's a real pretty cat. Well, if you want, you can always take Therese. Rusty's my spot. My cat. He's my cat because he's always been my cat. For me, he's really loyal. He likes to lay next to me on the bed and purr, and so does Fame, and so does Dusty. But Therese doesn't purr for anybody. Well, that's not entirely true. Therese purrs for people. He purrs for you when you're by yourself. Yeah. So Lori doesn't abuse anybody. Well, at least not my cat, anyway. No. We try very hard to keep the cats all happy, but sometimes that's a challenge. Didn't you hear shit, Michelle? No, because you didn't. I don't think so. No, because he eats outside. Because lately he has been wanting to eat outside because he doesn't want to eat around his son Therese. Rusty and Dusty don't mind eating together on the porch. Well, I know that. But you know what? Seriously, guys, in all reality is I do have 2 cats that do need homes. One of them is mine, and one of them is Dory's. I like him a lot. Which is Dusty. This is a cute little cat. He's really cute. He has a lot going for him. He's smart. He's beautiful. He's pretty. He's not fixed. So, okay, whatever. Speaking of Rusty, where is the old cat? He's on the bed. Oh. Therese is in the chair over there. Which is like Rusty, he's I don't know. Is that Therese? That's Therese, yeah, he's on the, so. Okay, okay, guys. Speaking of reality, it's anybody have anything else they would like to talk about right now? Speaking of cats, like I said, I got 4 cats right now. 2, as I said, I really would like to find a home for because this apartment was just for Rusty and Fame, and that's what my original lease said. And then Dory brought her cat because she didn't know anybody would take him. I didn't say I was going to give away Rusty, unless you mean Dusty. Go Echo, you're on here. Hello? Well, that's a real help. Hello, you're on the air.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Can you hear me?
Who's this?
It's me, Jason Witten the First, North American Snow King.
Yeah?
Yeah. I heard you had some things to say.
No, I don't.
You said that
like I said, is if you want, why don't you try to help straighten out the west coast of the United States right now? Because Oregon and Seattle are getting inundated with snow. If you want to show that you got your ability, that
is me showing my abilities. That is me proving to the world, as I said in the North American Snow King blog, I was going to damage the West Coast for the pedophilia and sodomites. I will send my armies of snow into the land. I will sow the fields with salt. The heads will be posted on my front lawn.
I don't think so. Yes, you know what?
And on May the 5th,
remember one thing that is also a rule.
Your army's in the field of battle. Yeah, they will fire him in the
remember
battle.
one thing that is the rule of the trade, which you seem to have forgotten. Okay? And I can understand how, because I kind of do it too, but I try not to. You're not supposed to act like a pompous asshole. That's the most important rule that was set down by Mother Asna. There's
watch your tongue. I'll have it cut from your head. You will not call the North American Snow King a pompous asshole.
No, you definitely won't do that. You tell him, Jason.
Thank you, Matt.
In this
you
case,
are going to bow before your king on May the 5th when my army slaughter yours in the field of battle. I'm going to march you to the streets of Winstead. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Yeah, you really showed her,
you
man.
know what the thing is that, like I said, is until recently, I have no idea where the hell you came from, okay? Because
I was crowned
in 2015
by Father Yahweh and Mother God Asna in a coronation. I was granted powers of which you would never even be able to imagine as an imposter.
Okay, well, how come Michele was able to stop the nor'easter and you weren't?
I am the one that stopped the nor'easter. I say nay to your claims of my powers. And on the 21st, you are set to show a display of power, but I have a feeling it will be nothing. And then I will have the momentum leading into our glorious battle. And I will crush your armies, and I will spit on your crown.
Well, the way I say it is...
really show you.
The way I say it is...
Hey, I got something to say here. Now, I'm talking. This is me, Matt. Okay? And you're not going to talk to Jason like that, okay? He is the North American Snow King. And you are nothing.
You know, this is the reason why this guy cannot be trusted, because about this, I don't think this guy is anything serious. No, kidding. Are you talking about the situation with the cat, or are you talking about the situation with everything else? First of all, I think the whole situation is bullshit. He's not real. Like, you can hear it's the same person over and over again. Yeah.
You are the same person over and over again. And I will crush your armies in the field of battle. Legitimacy is only need to be proven to Father Yahweh and Mother God Asna, and I speak with them every day, sister. And I doubt you do the same. They told me of your ways. They told me that you are one with Lucifer.
Yeah, they taught Michele the same skills.
Oh, so you
and while she basically
me
goes through and gives the people of Massachusetts a break, you did nothing.
I did nothing. I sowed the folks of the West. I sowed the fields with salt, and I put their heads on my post. I did nothing. I am a true king. You would have the backbone to be in my place. And on May the 5th, it will be proven in the ice fields of Greenland.
Either way, I don't agree with Lumi on this. I don't think you're legitimate. No.
And I say nay to your thoughts on what is legitimate, what is not, to somebody who was born feeble blood.
In fact, I have no desire to continue this dialogue with you at all.
Yeah, well, we don't have a desire to continue the dialogue with you at all. By the way, this is Matt here, and I'm getting...
That's enough! For God's sakes. Agreed. Alright, so... That guy's got a problem. And I'll tell you why. The rules of the trade say it is a privilege, not a right. And one of the requirements is that you're not supposed to act like a pompous asshole. And that's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. Now, let's see what else we got. Speaking of cats, where are they again? Well, our Torres is there in the chair. Famous, probably in the bedroom right now. Rusty is in the bedroom. In the bedroom. Dusty's in the bedroom. So they're all in their house. So, speaking of the cats, hi Will Grace, how you doing? You really want a mouse catching cat? You should take on Torres, Rusty's son. He's young, he's fast, and my name is Jeff. I know that. I could tell that from your handle. So we have Jewish Jeff and Will Grace here now, and so what do you guys think about the Snow King person? Well, speaking of Rusty, it's like I said, where is he? He's in the bedroom. Torres is on the chair. Too bad you can't show a picture of what they look. Torres looks like close up. He's sleeping on the chair. I'm not going to pick him up. Wait. I spoke with Michele. Agreed to hold the exorcism will be over next Sunday, 7 days. Okay, I can wait to get the meeting. Give me a break. I think that's the least of our problems right now, Jeff. Really. The biggest problem we have right now is TNC versus People of Peace right now. Yeah, but it's one of those people that's trying to... Fine, I'll turn the phone back on. Let's see. Alright, the phone's on now, guys. He's not. No one's banished in my chat. The phones are on now, guys. You know what this next thing when we get this new computer and stuff, Michelle is going to be able to do giggle? Right, that'd be kind of an interesting product. Giggle? Go ahead, call you in here.
Hello, Michelle. It's me, Brian. How are you doing tonight?
Who's this?
This is Brian K. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. What have you found out about People of Peace? Because you didn't respond to my message in one of your videos this afternoon.
Yeah, I saw the videos on them. I saw the videos he produced. But like
what is the deal with that?
Well, let me ask you a question that's a little bit different, but related to this. You were talking to me in Google Hangouts on my phone.
About the computers?
What's that?
About computers?
Yeah, about the computers.
I mean, I think that if your current system isn't running properly and there's nothing you can do, why not, you know? You can get it for the right coin.
Well, the problem is that the software that we used to use is no longer working anymore because they changed the API for Google Hangouts on Air. So that's because my Chrome is too old. So Hangouts doesn't work properly with my Google Chrome anymore.
And see, if you had a PC, you might be able to do like a virtual machine or something. But Macintosh, it's not possible that I know of. Can you run virtual machine on a Macintosh?
Well, I have an iMac. Yeah, I have an Intel Core 2 Duo Mac, and the newest thing it can run is Lion, and it's too old for the new Chrome. which needs Sierra and High Sierra.
I don't know about that. I'm not terribly versed in Macintosh products. But what is the deal with people of peace, though? I mean,
in this case, it's not just affecting the Mac. It also affects a lot of PCs that are using Windows too. Windows 10 with older Google Chrome. They're also running into the same issue with the same version of Google Chrome, which I want to show on the screen here so you can see which version this is. And this one is, give me a second, there we go. Over here, I'm going to highlight the screen so you can see it here. Let's see if we can get this thing to highlight. It says this computer will no longer see Google Chrome updates because OS 10.6, 10.7, and 10.8 are no longer supported. So, the only choice that I can do is to just go ahead and get a computer that has the newer operating system, maybe like High Sierra, Sierra, or maybe possibly El Capitan. So I can go ahead and get the newer Chrome, which apparently doesn't have the same glitches in it.
How long will it take before you have that system up and running, and will it be able to integrate with your audio equipment and video equipment and whatnot?
Well, I mean, it would allow me to upgrade I would be able to use the same hardware and everything because it's all connected by the external line-in jack and the headphone jack. That's a good thing. As long as it's a Mac that has a separate headphone jack and microphone jack. I know that the 2012 and newer Macs just have the same kind of stuff as like an iPhone does.
Why do they do that? That's another reason why I don't like Macintosh products. They're fucking retarded.
So let me just read this for people who didn't see this here. It says, updates to Chrome platform supports. Earlier this year, this is November 10th, 2015. Earlier this year, we announced that Google Chrome would continue to support for Windows XP through the remainder of 2015. At that time, we strongly encouraged users of older unsupported platforms such as Windows XP to update to a supported and secure operating system. Such older platforms are missing critical security updates and have greater potential to be infected by viruses and malware. Okay, that's for the Windows version. Today we announced the end of Chrome support for Windows XP as well as Windows Vista and Mac OS 10.6, 10.7, and 10.8. Since these platforms are no longer actively supported on Macs... What?
I think that you should upgrade your computer, but what is the deal with people of peace?
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to have to upgrade it too. But as far as the people of peace goes, I don't really know what to say about the people of peace thing, except to say that, you know, I don't really have a opinion what I should do because, you know, it's not really my thing where I want to sit there and pick sides. I just don't like picking sides.
Is there a way for you to contact them maybe to get something? Because I know you said something about your Wednesday show is going to be like a mock trial for him. I don't even know. He said I was a troll in one of his videos. Me, a troll?
Which one? People of Peace?
People of Peace, yes. Oh.
I don't really know much about him personally. I just know he's a high school student in Canada.
I think that he needs to be held accountable for what he basically victimized. From what I've heard, the next Christian, he said that he has been having death threats because people of peace put all this information out there.
Yeah, he did, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And then he's the one claiming that he is not the aggressor. He's saying he's somehow the victim.
All I know is that the NCC is saying is right now is that he's very upset that People of Peace has released his personal email and U.S. His mailing address, his U.S. snail mail address, which is also where he actually has a street address, along with his P.O. box. So I can see the point here
Well, I just think that either way, that is really a crazy situation. I'm going to get off of here to open up the phone lines in case there's other callers.
Well, I think some of the stuff that he did put out was a little bit much, yes. And then he says in the video, oh, you know, gee, I'll just go ahead and just cut out this name and then the street address and this state. It's like, well, if you're going to go ahead and put the town and the state he's in, why in the hell are you showing us the rest of the page of the information? So, okay. Okay, so anyway, right now it's getting time to get ready to wrap it up soon. Anyway, got 15 minutes left. Okay, 15 minutes call left, and let's see. Will Grace agree with you, what you said about the Snow King? You're right. He sounds like he's absolutely positively gonna start barking bad. And that's the reason why it makes it harder for me to seriously hold, you know, him as being sincere. What are you going to do? I wanted to go back and look at the other comments. I may have missed one. Listen to the other guy here. My chat was not working right now. Now I'm back in business. Okay, Ted hasn't done anything that cool. Possibly get him blocked, though. He's not blocked. Ruben whatever says, I just popped to see where Michelle's live streams had gone and see they're still spending money instead of paying off debt. And then, of course, nothing American Snow Queen Bill called. And Pete is a bad guy. I don't know anything about him. This guy named Tequila Garbage. And then me looking for Michelle's channel. Oh, he always sounds angry. Tequila always sounds angry. Even when he's no reason to be angry. Go ahead, call you on here.
Hello, my name is Joseph Dickenstein, attorney at law. I'm here to support a young man that was on your channel.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing tonight, Michelle?
I'm doing okay.
Do you know a boy by the name of People of Peace?
I don't really have much to say about People of Peace. He decided...
I heard I was going to be representing him this Wednesday on one of your shows. You were going to do sort of like a courtroom TV. Is this number I call for booking for that sort of thing?
Well, first of all, like I said, I'm not a judge, and I'm not going to judge anybody. I don't agree.
I understand that. We'll have a basic disclosure signature for that.
I did watch the videos he put out, and I don't necessarily, at this point, is that he went ahead and he released some information against TNCC. It was, I think, was a little bit excessive information released. For example, he said, well, let me just go ahead and look up who this guy really is. He looks up who this guy really is. But instead of blacking out the address of TNCC's address, he goes out there and he shows the entire address. And then he says, oh, well, I just gotta have to just look for his first name, and I just gotta look up for the city and town the state he lives in. And he still got the P.O. box and the street address listed on the information. I think that was a little bit much. I think they could have basically blanked out part of that because of confidentiality reasons.
I'm simply here to be a representative of People of Peace and prevent him from being attacked by these people that have been coming after him, making all these baseless claims against him.
Well, I would say I told him not to do that. I told him that the best thing he should have done is just go ahead and just, you know, lay low and be passive for a while, and he decides to produce those video content, which is not anything that has nothing to do with me whatsoever. So,
was that in English what you just said?
Excuse me?
I couldn't tell if you were speaking in Yiddish or English right there.
I told him that it would be best for him to just lie low and not start anything.
Oh, so you think it would be best for my client to lie down and not start anything? I've got some sad news for you.
Well, I got news for
Us
you.
at Joseph Dickstein Attorney Office do not lay down for their client. We stand up and fight for you after an accident.
Well, I don't have any problem with people standing up and fighting for what they believe in. That's not what the whole point of this country's for.
I don't believe in this. Okay? I'm an attorney. I get paid for it. Nothing in the law says I have to believe in that my client didn't commit those lewd acts back in the mid-2000s. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how and when am I going to get a chance to represent people of peace on your channel, on an open forum. And, of course, all the legal documents that we need to exchange and sign and all that.
There's no legal documents. This is not a courtroom. I already told you that. The most...
TV appearance of a courtroom. It's like the people's court.
Well, right now the point is that you have access to the phone. Obviously they can hear you out here. So speak your piece. You got a chance. They can hear you.
I can't do that at this time. That's not how these sort of proceedings happen.
Okay. Well, I said nothing more to say then.
What was that?
Okay, so for now I'm going to let you go.
Okay, so just so we're clear, Wednesday is when this matter will be resolved?
Well, I don't know when it's going to be resolved. I mean, people have been asking me what I think about what People Peace did, and I told them. I didn't really think it was a good idea. That's what I meant. But then, he's his own person, and he's going to do the things that he thinks is right, even if they're not right. That's true with any human being.
Do you think you'd be able to have it possible for me and this TNCC character, whoever he is, I don't care, I don't like him, he's garbage, okay?
Okay.
Is it possible for you to have us connected where I could speak to this individual?
Not
this
directly.
Crap, this human crap?
Not directly, except on Google Hangouts you can. So on the phone that would work.
Is it possible for you to do an interview with us, and then my whole point, he contacted me saying, I need you to represent me in this TV courtroom-like setting on this online show. It's whatever. He's a kid. I don't understand this stuff. I'm just an old Jewish schlep. And I say, okay, sure, what do I need to do? He tells me this is where I find you, and here's where we are. So can you make that happen?
Actually, Michelle, there's a way you could do it. If you wanted to, if you send me your phone number or your Google Hangouts link, I can connect you into the chat with TNCC on my phone. But I can't do it on the computer because the stuff...
Can you have that set up for Wednesday?
So when you... Obviously you got my email address because it's on my page. It's easy enough. You just... Well, it's not crapping out here. I just checked it on my phone, and it's which is on a different Wi-Fi, and it's working fine. So, okay, go ahead, caller on here. No one answered. No one answered. Okay. You think we'll still be able to handle me when it's... Actually, Rusty's not really red. He's brown. Yeah, he really is brown. He's not red. Kind of British brown, actually. Go ahead, click on here.
Yeah, hi, this is Ted.
What was this?
I was given this number. I heard you were taking in stray cats. I have a couple stray cats I'd like to drop off at your place.
I can't take any more cats. I'm already in violation of my lease because I have 2 already. So I can't take any more than that.
Well, what am I supposed to do with all these cats? I was given this
The same
number.
thing I do. Feed them. That's all I can tell you, honestly. Dory's not even on here, guys. It's true. She's not. No.
Could I drop them off in about an hour, maybe?
Hold on,
An hour or two?
let's see. Right now, the internet connection is going well.
I mean, and I would also like to say that the stream is really hitting the shitter tonight. It keeps cutting out constantly.
Well, I can't help that, guys, because there's nothing I can do about it. Considering it's a shared connection with T-Mobile, I can.
Maybe you should.
All I can do is I just switched it back over to Frontier just now. I don't know if that's going to help the bit rate.
I mean, you should maybe check. Did one of your cats chew through your Ethernet cord or something?
No, it's not the cats. It's just the T-Mobile internet is. Okay, we'll see if that helps any.
Because I'm having a hell of a time keeping the stream up.
Okay. Well, right now I just checked the internet bit rate. It's getting better, but it's sort of getting better. Sorta. Yeah.
Well,
sort of.
I'd like to bring these cats up a little bit here. This thing's moving a little bit slower here down south, but I think I can make it in about an hour or so. And I got about 4 or 5 cats I could drop off to your barn.
I can't take any more cats. I already told you that. So I can't help you there. I'm sorry.
Could you maybe direct me to the right place? I mean, I was given this number, told to call it, to bring my cats, and I see we got a problem, and I think you're going to need to help me now.
Excuse me. Oh, I was just reading the comments.
What comments? I'm a bit confused here.
Well, I'm reading the comments on the chat. It's just, but well, either way, I can't take any of my cats in. So I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Could you take a dog, maybe?
No, I can't take dogs either.
Bearded dragon?
No, because like I said, my lease says I can't even have more than 2 cats. I got stuck with 4, but I hope to find a home for 2 of the cats, which is Dusty, not Rusty. Rusty with the capital R is my cat. Dusty is the little black and gray cat. And Torres, which is Rusty's other son.
Well, oh, that's my dog that I'm supposed to be dropping off. Wow, well, I apologize for that dog, but I'm going to let you go and free up the line, but I'll see you in a little bit with these cats. Have a good night, Lumi.
Yeah, bye-bye. Okay, guys, anyway, it's 9 o'clock, and for the most part, YouTube has been working pretty good. I'm not saying it's perfect, because I did notice that. Let me see what I'm talking about. Let's go take a look at the encoder real quick here. Right now, we're back on the T-Mobile again. Go ahead, call you on here.
Yeah, my name is Rusty. My pal Ted, he gave me this number. He said this is a place I could drop off some stray cats. I got about a dozen stray cats.
I don't have any way.
Oh, miss, I mean, I don't mean to impose on you, but these are some real cute cats. And, you know, I took them in because they was born and born, but place to put these cats. And my good friend Ted, he said, hey, I see this lady on the YouTube there, she's taking cats. So, you know, I don't mean to bust you, man, but is there any way you can take these cats off my hand?
Right now, I don't know anybody can take your cats. I'm sorry. Right now, I'm just gonna get ready to wrap it up for the night. And
miss, it's just 12 little kittens, miss. They need a home. They need somebody who can feed them, miss.
I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm sorry. I don't have the ability to help you.
Summer's coming up. You know how hot it is in Louisiana in the summer, miss? I got a dozen kittens here, and I can't find nobody that'll take them, miss.
I can't take them either, so that's not a question. Okay, I gotta get going. It's time to get ready to wrap this up.
Oh, God.
So, let me explain what I was going to talk about. Okay, let me explain this real quick, guys, because I always mention this. If you look over here at the bit rate, now, you have two connections. Right now, it's at 270. It's jumping back and forth. Right now, it's connected at this time with Frontier. The bit rate's varying a lot. If I switch back to T-Mobile internet right now, the bit rates go up. And then they should be going up because that's faster LTE. And then it goes down again too. Then it goes down too, right? But most of the time anyway, most of the pictures are pretty static, so it really doesn't matter so much. I don't think so. Command rates. Okay, that is weird. Oh, that is weird. Yeah. So let's just double check to see if this thing isn't doing something shitty, stupid. I don't see anything wrong here. 640 by 480. 2500 bits per second. Yeah, that looks good. So 610 kilobits per second. Wow. 2 hours, 10 minutes, and 53 seconds. So, alright, so for right now, let's just get ready to wrap this up for now. Your last year's cap? No, I don't think so. Alright, so right now, it's getting late, and for the most part, it's doing okay. That's the nature of the internet business, I guess. So let me switch this off, switch this off, switch this off, switch this on. I'm going to just switch over to me. Alright, so basically at this point is the internet is working. It's not, it's a little bit laggy. I can see that. But is this thing on T-Mobile or is this thing be going on the Frontier internet? It could be, it's like, yeah, it's a T-Mobile broadband. What happens if you connect to the Pink Fast? You really want to see the internet up to